If you feel like your creative career has slammed into a concrete wall and has stalled at the mid-level, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the real reason this happens, and it's probably not what you think. You see others, sometimes with less skill, glide into better projects, while you're stuck in the mid-level loop that stopped challenging you ages ago. What if the reason you're stalled has less to do with your portfolio and more to do with your mindset? After a decade in this industry, I've seen that the most successful creatives have mastered their inner game. They've learned to sidestep the invisible, psychological roadblocks that keep most people spinning their wheels. So let's break down the three biggest psychological traps that cause mid-level stagnation and talk about the mindset shifts that will finally help you break free. First up, and maybe the most dangerous, is what I call the identity trap. This is the deep down belief that your worth as a person is directly linked to how your creative work is received. A project gets great feedback and you feel like a genius. It gets criticised or even worse, ignored, and it feels like a personal failure. Our work is personal, of course, but this trap fuses your career with your entire identity. This is incredibly common. For many creatives, our career is a huge part of our self-perception. One recent study showed that for a significant number of employees, their career is a core part of their identity. But when your job and your self-worth are welded together, any career plateau feels like a personal judgment. It breeds anxiety and self-doubt. And that sinking feeling you get when you see a peer's success on social media, it doesn't just feel like they're advancing. It feels like you're shrinking. The problem is, this mindset is paralyzing. The fear of failure is taking over, making you allergic to risk. You stop experimenting, you stop pitching those bold, weird ideas, the very ones that could get you noticed, because the thought of rejection is just too painful. You retreat into a safe, predictable work, the kind of work that keeps you firmly planted at the mid-level. You start chasing validation instead of growth. You're no longer asking, what can I learn here? But what does this say about me? The mindset shift from I am my work to I am the one who works. The fix is to create a deliberate, conscious separation between who you are and what you make. Your work is something you do, not who you are. The most resilient and successful creatives I know treat their work like a series of experiments. Some will fly, some will flop, and most will land somewhere in the middle. But none of them define their intrinsic value as a person. Think of it like a scientist in a lab. If a hypothesis is proven wrong, they don't have a meltdown about their worth as a person. They document the result, learn from it, and design the next experiment. The outcome isn't a judgment, it's just data. And perfectionism is rigid, but creativity needs play and needs to thrive. Try to tap into that playful, childlike curiosity where you're not worried about being good, you're just throwing yourself into the process. Here's something you can try. Start a failure log. For the next month, every time something doesn't go as planned, a rejection, a criticism, a botched idea, write down one objective thing you learned from it. Did you find a new software shortcut? Did you realize a client responds better to a short presentation? This simple act retrains your brain to see setback as data points for growth, not proof of your failure. It starts to dismantle the identity trap by forcing a new, more objective perspective. The second trap is sneaky, and I call it the efficiency trap. The mistaken belief that being busy and productive is the same as making progress. Mid-level creatives are often masters of efficiency. You can churn out high quality work on a tight deadline. You know the systems, you know the software, you can handle the daily grind with your eyes closed. You're reliable, you're competent, and you're, well, completely stuck. This happens because the skills that get you to the mid-level are not the skills that would get you out of it. Early in your career, pure execution is what gets you noticed. But at the mid-level, the game changes. Growth isn't about doing the same tasks faster. It's about tackling new, messier challenges that require strategic thinking, leadership, and a grasp of the business. Remember, stop optimizing and start leading. Yet, so many of us just double down on what we know. We optimize our workflow, shave minutes off our process, and pride ourselves on being a production powerhouse. But this is a form of hiding. You're so busy in the doing that you have no time for the thinking. You don't make space to learn skills outside of your comfort zone, like business strategy or client management. This leads to a content plateau where the work is boring and no longer challenges you, which is a fast track to burnout. It's a vicious cycle. The plateau causes burnout, and the burnout kills your motivation to break free from the plateau. The mindset needs to shift from how can I do this faster to what should I be doing instead. You have to shift your focus from efficiency to effectiveness. Stop asking how to get more done and start asking if you're doing the right things. This means deliberately carving out time to work on your career, not just in it. The most successful creatives understand how their work solves business problems. This can feel totally backward at first. It means saying no to some tasks to create space for bigger projects. It means stepping away from the comfort of being an expert and embracing the awkwardness of being a beginner again. As AI automates more execution-based tasks, the real value is shifting to uniquely human skills, taste, judgment, and strategic thinking. AI can generate thousands of ideas, but it can't tell you which one matters and why. That's the skill that defines senior level talent. Here's something you can try. Block out 2 hours in your calendar each week and call it strategic time. This time is sacred. Use the first hour to learn something new that isn't directly part of your current role. Take a course on marketing analytics, read about UX principles, or watch tutorials on new AI tools. Use the second hour to find a problem in your organization that no one wants to touch. Is the client onboarding process a mess? Could campaign results be presented more effectively? Just spend the hour sketching out solutions. You don't have to solve it, just start thinking about it. This practice is what transitions you from a doer to a thinker. The final psychological barrier is the isolation trap. This is the romantic but ultimately self-sabotaging idea that if your work is good enough, it will get noticed on its own. So you put your head down, put everything into craft, and wait for the opportunity to come to you. You tell yourself that networking is for slick business people, and your portfolio should do all the talking. But this ignores the fundamental truth. Opportunities are attached to people. Decisions are made in conversations. Talent is the ticket to the game, but visibility and connection are how you score. This is especially dangerous now in an industry where some sectors are contracting and a lot of junior roles are disappearing, making every connection even more critical. When you only work with the same team on the same project, you're just circling the same creative well. It's no wonder so many creators report feeling stuck in their careers. This trap is often rooted in the first one, the identity trap. If your work is you, then promoting your work feels like cringy self-promotion. Plus, many creators are introverts. The idea of networking can feel draining and fake, but this mindset just creates an echo chamber that leads to stagnation. The mindset shift needs to go from my work speaks to I speak for my work. The shift is here to reframe networking not as schmoozing, but as community building and collaborative learning. It's not about collecting context, it's about having curious conversations, it's about sharing what you're working on and learning what challenges other people are facing. When you do this, you're not just making yourself seen, you're gathering intelligence that makes you more valuable. You start to see the bigger picture and spot opportunities you never would have seen from your desk. A mentor or coach can be invaluable here. Don't just ask for a job, ask for perspective. Find people who have navigated these challenges and learn from them. Start collaborating on projects outside your department. You have to break this cycle of isolation. Your career doesn't stall because you stop working. It stalls when you stop evolving. Here's something you can try. This week, identify 3 people in your company or industry you admire who are not on your immediate team. This could be one peer, one senior leader, or one person in a totally different role, like finance or sales. Send them a simple one-line email. Hi, so-and-so, I was really impressed your work on name a specific project. Would you be open to a quick 15-minute virtual coffee next week? I'd love to hear more about how your team approaches a specific challenge. And that's it. This isn't a big ask. It is specific, it is respectful, and it focuses on learning, not talking. These small conversations are the seed of a real professional network. They make you visible and turn you from just a name on an organization chart into a curious, engaged colleague. Feeling stuck at the mid or senior level is not a referendum on your talent. It's a signal that the strategies that have got you here have run their course. It's a sign you've hit one of these three traps: the identity trap, the efficiency trap, or the isolation trap. But a plateau is not a destination, it's a crossroad. It's a chance to consciously evolve by shifting your mindset from being defined by your work to being the one who does the work, from chasing efficiency to chasing effectiveness, and from working in isolation to building a community. You can break the cycle. In a world of constant technological change, these human skills of resilience, critical thinking, and strategic collaboration are key. The path forward isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter on your inner game. You have the talent, now it's time to build the mindset to match. So, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these three traps hits closest to home for you? The identity trap, the efficiency trap, or the isolation trap? I'll read every single comment. And if you're serious about building a fulfilling, long-term creative career, make sure you subscribe more on mastering the inner game of creativity.